Anti-Imperialist Front TV news for the week beginning May 25th, 2020. In three major cities of Greece, Athens, Thessaloniki and Patra, marches will be held in solidarity with the Death Fast resistance in Turkey. They will all start at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, May 26th. The People's Front in Greece and left and anarchist groups of Greece will participate. Iranian tankers reached Venezuela late on May 23rd without being stopped by the US Navy. They delivered petrol to Venezuela, which is suffering from US sanctions. The US government reacted angrily to Iran sending the ships, talking up sanctions and hinting at other action, but in the end it did nothing. The Iranians had said they would resist if the US took action, raising the possibility of a military clash. Both Iran and Venezuela are targeted by US sanctions and have decided to cooperate with one another. Probably not what the USA intends when it tries to apply economic pressure to its targets. The family of the Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi announced that they have forgiven his killers. Khashoggi was murdered in 2018 after entering the Saudi consulate in Istanbul to fill in some paperwork. 5 consular officials were sentenced to death, but it is widely reckoned the killing was ordered by higher-up Saudi government officials. The forgiveness opens the way for them to be reprieved. The Khashoggi family reportedly received compensation in the form of property and money, as forgiveness does not come cheap. Rear Admiral Cihat Yaycı, the Chief of Staff of Turkey's Navy, has resigned after being demoted by a decree from Erdogan. Yaycı has a reputation for being relatively anti-Western, and there have been recent indications that with coronavirus and economic problems, Erdogan is trying to improve his relations with the USA and Western governments. Other senior officers who were demoted continued to serve, but Yaycı chose to resign. Erdogan has never broken ties with imperialism, and this is a message that he is trying to move closer to the imperialists, although Yaycı was hardly Che Guevara. Ukrainian Member of Parliament Valery Davydenko was found shot dead in the toilet of his own office. Davydenko was the target of corruption charges, and it has not been ascertained whether Davydenko shot himself or was killed by others. In Ukraine after the Maidan fake revolution, anything is possible. The US Army is planning a major recruiting drive this summer, according to the newspaper Army Times. It will start after the US Army celebrates its 245th birthday on June 14th. The US Army traditionally tries to recruit among the young, poor and unemployed, and the virus has ensured that there are more unemployed in the United States than usual. Egypt has freed thousands of prisoners for the Eid al-Fitr holiday, according to Al Jazeera. They include an ex-policeman who murdered a popular Lebanese singer Suzanne Tamim. No political prisoners were released. And from tyranny to the merely repulsive. In Britain, Dominic Cummings, a senior advisor to British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, has attracted a lot of criticism after he was found to have travelled all over England for family reasons in March and April. Cummings is the architect of the lockdown policy in Britain and breached the lockdown rules he sought to impose on others. Boris Johnson has resisted calling for Cummings' resignation. After all, it is quite normal for the rulers to have different standards from those they seek to impose on the ruled. Former British Prime Minister David Cameron described Cummings as a career psychopath, and he would probably know. And that is Anti-Imperialist Front TV news for this week.